Welcome to the studio at Global Goals Week 2021. Now for a special segment about an innovative collaboration between ABInBev, the world's largest beer company, and the United Nations about road safety. Road safety isn't normally seen as being critical to the global goals, but it is critical to driving economic recovery as we emerge from the pandemic. ABInBev's CEO, Michel Doukeris, talked with Nikhil Seth, Executive Director of the UN Institute for Training and Research, or UNITAR, about their work together. Over to Michel and Nikhil.
We all know the statistics on fatalities and injuries. We know that each year, approximately 1.3 million people die on the roads. And these road deaths represent the leading cause of death for 5 to 29-year-olds. In addition to a heavy burden on health, the lack of safety on the roads triggers many negative externalities. For example, road crashes can also push victims or their families into dire poverty as they lose members in the most active years of their lives. As such, road safety is an inherently development issue and has been specifically addressed in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Later this year, a global plan to support the Decade of Action will be launched to guide governments to implement their road safety strategies. Although it is a 10-year target, the implementation of the global plan and the achievement of the targets set for the decade will require a multidisciplinary, multi-sectoral approach, with governments leading the way and civil society organizations, international and national agencies, the private sector, academia, youth, and communities deeply and actively involved. As a dedicated training arm of the United Nations, UNITAR, my organization, has a clear mandate to enhance the effectiveness of the country member states of the United Nations. I am pleased about the work our institute is doing in collaboration with partners around the world to support countries in implementing practical solutions and concrete actions that help reduce road traffic fatalities and injuries. With 2020 and 2021 being marked by the COVID-19 pandemic, we have remained committed to supporting knowledge sharing and encouraging systematic, recurring, and results-oriented road safety interventions through many collaborations. Our management practices for safer roads toolkit, jointly developed with ABInBev, continues to serve as a gold standard and a practical tool for governments to assess roads, collect data on the number and location of deaths from traffic crashes, design corrective measures, and monitor results. It is my pleasure to join Michel and Minister of Transport Walter Casimiro to present our recently developed virtual reality-based tool that showcases the implementation of the toolkit's methodology and approach in cities around the world. Through this immersive virtual experience, today we will explore some of the road safety interventions implemented in the Federal District of Brazil that have had very positive results. Brasilia Vida Segura is a collaborative and comprehensive program implemented by the government of the Federal District that has contributed to reduce by 54% the number of road traffic deaths between 2010 and 2020, meeting the United Nations road safety target. The example of Brasilia shows that achieving road safety targets is possible and that it requires, among others, improving existing road infrastructure for the benefit of all road users, especially the most vulnerable. Improvements in infrastructure planning, design, and construction, including the provision of safe infrastructure for pedestrians and cyclists, can prevent death and serious injuries. We invite you to explore this tool and hope you will find this experience useful. I take this opportunity to thank ABInBev for contributing with this relevant methodology and most importantly, for supporting its application in different cities in different parts of the world. Thank you very much.
I'm really honored to join Nikhil and Walter today to inaugurate and announce the launch of the new virtual reality feature of our Road Safety Toolkit. This will help advance our efforts in this area around the globe. Building a better, more inclusive, and equal road is a task that can only be achieved when we work together. Today's event is a testament to what partnerships can accomplish. Since taking on the role of CEO, I have made leading in ESG a key priority for us. We know that the strength of our business comes from the local communities where we live and work. To achieve that, we must continue to collaborate with our entire value chain to help advance the UN Sustainable Development Goals. This includes ensuring effective road safety transport systems and safer roads across our communities. We have a long-standing commitment to road safety, with our work focused on three key areas. First, as a significant global operator of roadway fleets, we are continually working to improve our own vehicle safety and driver behavior. Secondly, reducing drinking and driving is an essential component of our smart drinking commitments. And lastly, we developed a methodology of using data and management routines to help local authorities improve road safety. This methodology is the foundation to the toolkit we are launching today with Unitar. By using virtual reality, our toolkit will offer an immersive learning safety authorities, governments, and road users across the globe. Users will be able to virtually see a location, travel to a city, and have access to road safety initiatives. No one can solve this complex issue alone. We will need to be part of the solution. We've been partnering with Unitar since 2018. And this type of collaboration is essential to achieving impactful results. Thank you to all involved. Our work together demonstrates the power of bringing people together for a better world. Exactly what the UN SDG number 17 proposes.
Cumprimentar colegas hoje de palestra aqui, o senhor Nikhil Seth, diretor executivo da Unitar, ao Michael Douglas, CEO da ABInBev. É um prazer estar participando aqui, mostrando os resultados que o programa Brasília 2050 trouxe aqui para o Distrito Federal. E o Distrito Federal é a prova viva de que juntos podemos melhorar o nosso trânsito, diminuir o número de acidentes, o número de mortes no trânsito. Nós tivemos a grata satisfação de receber da Ambev esse programa como parceiros e que, por meio de consultorias, nos trouxe metodologias para poder fazer uma avaliação da nossa situação do trânsito, para que, com base numa metodologia sólida, acadêmica, pudéssemos desenvolver ferramentas e métodos de análise e de resultado para que, identificando problemas pontuais no trânsito, pudéssemos acionar as nossas forças para poder atuar de forma pontual dentro de uma metodologia técnica para poder diminuir o número de acidentes.
The Management Practices for Safer Roads Toolkit presents a practical management methodology that is based on the premises that achieving road safety targets requires, among others, improving existing road infrastructure for the benefit of all road users. Through this virtual immersive experience, we will explore some of the interventions implemented in the Federal District in Brazil, using the toolkit with positive results. Brasilia Vida Segura is a collaborative and comprehensive program run by the federal district government that has contributed to reduce by 54% the number of deaths related to road traffic crashes between 2010 and 2020, fulfilling the United Nations road safety target. Let's start. In this segment of the road, the intervention consisted of blocking by means of lane separators, a highway exit that was identified as risky since it was responsible for many crashes and fatalities. By blocking the exit with lane separators, the driver must advance further before being able to safely exit the highway and merge onto the road. This intervention included the total removal of a U-turn due to its proximity to the highway entrance. In this case, the entering vehicle had a short distance to accelerate, cross lanes, and make the U-turn. After the intervention, the vehicle now has to drive 200 to 300 meters before being able to make the U-turn safely, avoiding accidents. Improvements in infrastructure planning, design and construction, including the provision of safe infrastructure for drivers, pedestrians and cyclists, can reduce the risks that lead to road traffic injuries and fatalities. Learn more about this tool and collaborate with us to implement the management practices for Safer Roads Toolkit in your city.
We hope that you have enjoyed, and congratulations to the Federal District of Brazil for such an amazing achievement in the last decade. And I know more plans and more actions are to be implemented in the second decade of action, and we're looking forward to seeing also the positive results. And to continue with our agenda, we have a question for our keynote speakers, and I would like to invite Mr. Duqueris to address this question. And what do you think, Mr. Duqueris, the role of partnerships and technology will be as we set our eyes on the upcoming decade of action for road safety?
Thank you for the question, Estrella, and allow me here to congratulate UNITAR and Distrito Federal, Walter, all your colleagues there in Brazil. Incredible work, simple, very straightforward, and most important of all, saving lives. So those are big problems that we need to address, and we can only solve them by working together. So public-private partnerships are the only way we are going to meet the world's road safety objectives. I have no doubt about that. That's why we at ABInBev partner with UNITAR. And indeed, with UNITAR, we have learned that by combining our strengths and working as a team, it is possible to improve road safety in a significant way. Technology offers us a unique opportunity to accelerate the change needed to reduce road crashes. Why do I say that? What we have learned working with UNITAR is that technology will allow us to give reach and scale to the solutions that have proven effective in different pilots we conducted around the world. So in my opinion, technology has a key role to play in reducing road crashes going forward and will allow us to scale up these winning initiatives together.
Technology, after all, needs receptive minds to be able to be effective, and they have both shown how, by cooperating, we can make this happen. The business as usual approach cannot work. There is a very urgent need for a paradigm shift to reevaluate current practices, given the still unacceptably high road accident death toll and the crash rates we see everywhere in the world. With the target of achieving by 2030, greater consideration should be given to road safety, innovations, and the use of technology. Appropriate, innovative technology that helps improve road safety it already exists, from using data analytics in transportation to identifying adverse events or predict at-risk situations for collisions, as we saw in the immersive experience, using information from smartphones to predict driver risk or the severity of a crash, or using apps that notifies drivers if they have committed traffic violations, to using technology to monitor incidents and improve response and for traffic control. These are just a few ways technology and innovation can help to improve road safety policy making. From governments to practitioners, an increased use of smart city tools to aid decision making and implement effective interventions is clearly needed. On the question of partnerships, Estrella, it's quite clear that cooperation and collaboration are key elements in designing and implementing road safety interventions. There are so many actors in road safety. From a country level perspective, greater cooperation among the different spheres of government is needed, from integrated road traffic systems to legislation to law enforcement, trauma management, and post crash responses. There is a need for integrated approaches to advance road safety. The private sector is making important investments in technology to combat risk factors, such as distracted driving, for example, and in designing road safety codes that are applicable to companies' operations. Collaboration with the private sector can lead to the design and implementation of road safety interventions in different settings. Globally, collaboration and partnerships amongst international organizations and the UN system is essential to further increase the visibility of road safety in global discussions and to raise its profile as an urgent development priority. Currently, many actors at national and international level would agree that road safety is important, but don't necessarily see it as a priority that requires immediate and comprehensive action, as well as substantial funding. Broad institutional arrangements and multi-stakeholder partnerships, including the private sector, academic institutions, civil society, the media, and youth, are required to develop innovative road safety interventions and their effective implementation. At the core of UNITAR's work is fostering partnerships in support of road safety, building awareness, empowering officials through training, promoting education, and instilling a sense of responsibility. We look forward to bringing new learning and tools as we enter the second decade of action for road safety. And as all of you have seen today, you've seen a partnership between a private company, ABInBev, a UN organization, UNITAR, and the federal state of Brazil. So this is just an example of how we can do things successfully together.